Morning, everybody. Welcome to Vision Expo's first ever virtual career zone. This virtual program was developed due to Vision Expo East and West cancellation this year. Although this is not a substitute for our face-to-face time at the shows, obviously, but we have created an impactful hour of valuable information just for you. We're delighted to have this esteemed group of panelists joining us today. We're going to discuss getting hired, how to be desirable in this market, how to stay relevant, and how to virtually network effectively. Our panelists include Tracy Glendenning from My Eye Doctor, Dr. Bill Werner from National Vision, Dr. Thomas Babka with Shopko Optical, and Paul Case and Dr. Scott Seberg with Luxottica Eye Care. This is going to be a 30-minute panel discussion. Right after that, we're going to have a 5-minute presentation from each participating company. You'll have the opportunity to email each company your resume and ask them questions directly after the program. And if you don't catch their email, do not worry. Tomorrow, we're going to be sending you an email with all of their contact information. And if you stay on for the entire program, you'll be entered to win one of the amazing prizes shown here below. Luxottica is giving away Ray-Bans, National Vision's giving away a $200 gift card, My Eye Doctor a $100 Amazon gift card, and Shopko 2 pairs of fashion sunglasses. And we'll let you know in that same email tomorrow morning who the winners are. And now it's my great pleasure to turn our Career Zone over to our moderator and friend, Matt Geller, CEO of Covalent Careers.
Morning, everyone. Thanks, Suzanne. Appreciate that. Got my coffee. Hope you all do too, or lunch, depending on where you're coming in from. Early lunch for the docs. Well, great. I'm really excited to jump in today, and we've got really a great panel. Remember, those prizes, we're going to be picking them at random after, so stick around for the entire event to be included to receive those. Now, because we have a quick 30-minute here, we're going to jump right into this, okay? And let's go for it. So, when we're thinking about careers in optometry, you really can't ignore the fact that COVID has shaken things up and changed things. And so that's what I really want to get into first and foremost, because we've been hearing that as a key topic is what is the state of affairs now with careers? And I think the folks on this call can really answer that best because they're seeing how careers are or job opportunities and openings are around the country, right? So let's kick this first one over to Dr. Bill Werner from National Vision. What is the current state of affairs for your organization in terms of bringing on new talent, and how do you think that will change over, say, the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. So
Sure.
when the nation pretty much shut down in March, we had to subsequently close all of our stores nationwide for several weeks, really for the safety of patients, doctors, store associates, and so that we could determine how to safely reopen the locations. And one thing that did not shut down or slow down during this time period was the hiring of doctors. The success that National Vision has had over the years has allowed us to expand and will continue to expand both in existing and new markets, reaching out to patients who haven't had eye care in a long time or who have never had eye care before. So we've continued to hire throughout this entire time period, and we plan to for the foreseeable future as we continue to expand.
Yeah, excellent. And we've seen that as a trend as well. And I thought initially I was like doom and gloom. Oh my God, this is going to be really rough, and it's looking to be a lot better. Any of the other panelists out there want to touch on that? What's going on with their organization specifically?
Yeah,
Feel free to just jump in. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I'll be glad to touch on that just for a moment, Matt. So at Luxottica Eye Care, we are definitely hiring. Just like everybody else out there, we were definitely impacted, with COVID-19, but we're definitely hiring. Obviously, the public now realizes, as we do, that eye care is essential care. It's part of keeping our country, our people healthy. We have opportunities all across the country. Obviously, depending on the part of the country you're in, different parts of the country were impacted a little, worse than some of the other ones, but market is good. Patients are coming back, and definitely we have opportunities.
Sure. Hey, Thomas, I'm curious, how do you, with Shopko, if there's a second wave or depending on, the severity of that, is the organization kind of thinking about things differently and how to deal with those changes should they happen again? I'm assuming every panelist and every organization that the panelists represent up here are going to think about how to properly handle and have the correct measures in place should something, should things start to ramp up again with COVID cases. You want to maybe touch on that one? Oh, I think you're muted there. I'm not getting audio from you. You guys hearing audio from Thomas? Nope, still no there. Well, looks like. No, still nothing. Olivia, maybe if you can help Thomas there behind the scenes, and don't worry, I will definitely come back to you on that one. Not hearing you whether you're on mute or off mute. Not sure why, but we'll get that fixed. Olivia, perhaps if you can shoot him a text. So anyone else want to handle that one? Tracy, perhaps just
Yeah.
what how you guys can deal with the kind of flux of COVID as it changes?
Yeah. And I think even when COVID first started, we were extremely prepared in the sense that we jumped right into telemedicine, and we have been working diligently over these past several months to have that platform running right now. And hopefully we don't have to relive this again, but if and when we do, we are definitely ready for anything that comes our way.
Got it. Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, let's pass the next one over to you, Tracy, as well. Totally shifting gears, because to be honest, I am sick of talking about COVID anyway. I think most people are. But what does your organization look? I love this question, by the way. What does your organization look for in quality candidates, both inherent personality traits, but also skills? And I specifically want to hear about the inherent personality traits part, because it's those traits which create, I think, longevity in your career and reliability. And you just, I personally care less about what you can do. We can train that, but who you are. Touch on that one.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the hard skills, everyone's been through school. We expect what you do in the lane. We want our doctors to practice to the full scope of their license. But more importantly, we are hiring for a lifelong career. And so we want doctors that understand our purpose. My eye doctor's purpose is helping patients live their best life. And that's not just on one encounter that they have. We want those doctors wanting to build a relationship with those patients so that they come back to them year after year. My eye doctor builds the practice around the doctor. So we want that patient and that doctor interaction to be key. We can work with doctors and help them with team building skills, but inherent personalities that drive to form that relationship is key for us within our company.
Yeah, I love it. No, totally. And when we're hiring here, we're thinking of the same type of stuff, just, less so optometric skills. Thomas, let's get a quick audio check from you there. How's that? Still no audio, Olivia. Perhaps, Thomas, I'll try to troubleshoot with you. Not sure what you tried or whether you're on a Mac or PC there. Are you on a PC? It looks like someone's trying to help you. It might be in his sound settings that his mic isn't in the appropriate input source. Thomas is going to get a whole half hour to himself once we get this fixed. Scott Seberg, question, similarly, I mean, when you're thinking about these qualities of a good candidate more clinically, right? Less so skills, but like clinical drive, passion for the clinical side of things. Maybe touch on something there.
Yeah, I think a big thing that we look for, and when I speak to doctors and I get a sense for what they're about, is really, I mean, exactly what you said, drive. Are they wanting to improve? Are they wanting to grow? Are they looking to, expand not only their clinical skills, but also their, leadership or managerial skills? We do a lot to support our employed doctors, but also our sublease doctors in how do you grow your business? It's the same principles. Do you want that? Are you looking for that? Are you looking to learn? That's really what we're about. And obviously having that great personality and being exuberant and, being people drawn to you, that kind of thing is great. But at the end of the day, it's the drive and the wanting to learn and grow is really a huge thing that we look for.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bill, kind of just pivoting the question, I know you specifically, not only do you have seen lots of quality candidates and maybe not so good ones like everyone on today's panel, but you specifically have grown quite a lot in National Vision, and that takes a certain inherent good work ethic and good quality about yourself. I mean, how can candidates who maybe don't have some of those strong suits or unsure about whether they have these kind of great inherent qualities to add value to an organization, what kind of path can they go on to become better? Not just, once again, not just enhancing their skill sets. How do I do gonioscopy better, or run faster visual fields or something like that, but just be a larger addition of value to the organization. What can they practice or do to accomplish that and get better at it?
We have a strong support system both inside and outside the office. And it's not necessarily there to teach anybody how to be a doctor. We know they can do that after they graduate, but there to be a mentor. So if the doctors ever have any questions, suggestions, concerns, if they need to learn how to become more efficient and successful within the setting, we have ample support, like I said, both inside and outside the office, that are there to support the doctors and be a mentor to them. One of the things that we definitely look for is somebody that's going to be motivated and has a hard work ethic, but one who can multitask in a fast-paced environment, which we are as well.
Yeah, that's something here, just that those key terms of work ethic. And when we look at our organization's core values, we make sure that that's implanted in there. And we've kind of started looking away from skills and more towards your passion, your drive to succeed in your career, how hard you want to win it. And that's not necessarily for everyone, but being able to put that out there will certainly shape the organization, to have those quality, good, hardworking individuals who just want to excel in their careers. And personally, I found that just picking up a good book and reading on these topics can really help. Thomas, I may have gotten an audio signal from you there. Give me a quick
How about
audio.
that, man? Is
Yeah,
that better? All right.
that's great.
Thank you. Thanks for troubleshooting. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no worries. Maybe you can hit on, we asked a few things there, great qualities in candidates. We also talked about post-COVID. Feel free, the floor is yours.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we're looking for team players. Flexibility and adaptability is very important, especially COVID has shown us that. So definitely good communication skills, and people that want to build a relationship, both with their patients and with Shopko Optical, with the team they work with, because that's really, really important. So, and we are actively hiring. You mentioned before about COVID. We are booked out multiple weeks in most of our locations. There's definitely a demand for patients. So we've hired quite a few doctors this year, and we're still growing and building new stores as we speak. So we definitely, the outlook is good for optometry graduates.
There you go. I totally agree. Yeah, I think it's obviously things are shaken up, but the outlook, going forward that's what's most important here is where are we heading? Where are we heading? Don't look in the rear view mirror, We love our hindsight is 2020 pun, but it's all about it's all about moving forward.
Yes, it's positive.
I'll pass this next one over to you as well. We're just almost at the halfway point for the panel part of things. Let's talk about what are the essentials for a quality resume. What do you think should be removed? What should be included that some candidates might not think is important? I mean, resumes, as a recruiter, you're looking through so many of these, and certain resumes really stand out. So, what can candidates, Thomas, tactically just remove from it, and what should they include to have a more quality, robust resume?
Well, definitely you want to do your background and your history, okay? Definitely what you've done. That's all the key things. Also, hate to say it, but no grammatical errors is very important. So your 5th grade teacher was right, so please do that, because that helps. That shows attention to detail, trust me. And the other thing is geography. A lot of people are saying, well, I just want to practice in New York or Chicago. Be flexible. Again, I'm going to go back to that. There may be a part of the country you never thought about practicing in, but there's great, great opportunities out there. Give yourself a chance to look at, where you're going, not just where you may want to be, because it turns out where you are is where you are once you land and build that practice. So geography is important.
Yeah, totally. I think there's a lot of really unique opportunities throughout the country. And I know personally, when I graduated, I was very much set on a particular location. And I think having, it's a bit of a regret, maybe keeping a little bit more of an open mind about that. I was very kind of closed off, and that didn't serve me well, perhaps, at least in the short term. And folks that I've talked to, other at the time, new graduates or students or whatever, who did keep an open mind about location, tend to have a smile on their face. So I would say consider that, at least have the conversation for sure. Paul from Luxottica, maybe similar question here, some things on resume tips, maybe things to remove.
just to add or kind of build on what was just said, so I would focus on the where, the how, and the why. The where, what part of the country are you looking in? The how do you want to affiliate? Would you like to be a lease owner? Are you looking for an employed opportunity, part-time or full-time? And then most importantly to me is the why. Why do you want to do what you do? Focus on patient care. Make sure that's highlighted in your resume. One great way to include all of that is a brief executive, summary in your resume, just kind of outlining that. That helps out a lot in a competitive market. That can help, distinguish you from somebody else looking for the same exact opportunity.
Oh yeah, no, I love the tip about kind of this little executive summary, one kind of longer sentence, max two shorter sentences. And if I remember correctly, mine was something around really, the thing, like kind of the three things that I was best at. And that was, one, just the soft skills, the bedside manner, the patient friendliness kind of factor. Two, a pediatric focus in terms of like clinical care. And three, and I think this was kind of my tip for the audience, is focus on revenue growth, focus on practice growth, focus on the kind of fact that this is a business, right? You have the clinical side, and you kind of, this business element is very important to focus on. Whether it's a private practice job or corporate job, no matter what it is, I think it's very key to put out there in this kind of executive summary or somewhere else that you intend to grow the location, not just maintain it or, do your bare due diligence, but really push and grow at that. And you can start getting into some of the numbers a bit, not in your resume, maybe that's more of a conversation in an interview, but those are some things. Bill from National Vision, any other tips there?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take a little bit of a different angle on this. I find that a lot of resumes look very similar. They list the education, work experience, and their background, and of course, all of that's important. But one of the first sections that I actually go to look for is the volunteer work section. And this isn't necessarily to look at the volunteer work that's been done in the field of optometry, but to get a better understanding of the candidate's life outside of the profession. So if there's a passion, I would say, that somebody has been involved with outside of the profession, that's appropriate and can help showcase who that person is as an individual. This can help set that person apart from the next candidate in the hiring manager's mind as well.
That's a good one. Definitely a great tip there. And Tracy, I mean, do you prefer kind of a longer resume, a shorter resume, more colorful resume? I mean, and maybe, from your recruiting peers out there, what's favored most? What should people go with?
I think I agree with Dr. Werner. Showcase yourself, the uniqueness about you, because part of what we're doing is trying to find you the perfect match. And if we know what you like behind the scenes, that helps us. And I also like looking at leadership roles that the candidate may have had, regardless of how small they are, because we do want that doctor being a leader in the practice. So I love to see if they've done any team building work or leadership skills around that. So the uniqueness and the leadership skills matter to me. So.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, and before we move on to the next question, I just remember one tip. I kind of had two resumes when I was first searching for jobs in my fourth year. One was I think I did it in like Photoshop, and it looked really nice, but it was a real pain in the you-know-what to edit it. And I never really wanted to go into that one because I had to do so much editing work. And whether you're doing that in Microsoft Word or Google Docs or something, you need to make these quick and easy to make changes because you want to tailor your resume to the position you're applying to. Not that you're becoming a different person, but you're tailoring it to increase your odds. So keep the formatting simple. You're not applying to a graphic design job, you're applying to an optometrist position. And so keep it simple, a little bit of flair to stand out, but like you're hearing here, it's more about the content and not necessarily about, the bells and whistles of the design. So Tracy, let's keep this one on you. What are the common career pathways that individuals take through your organization, and what success stories have you seen?
So that's probably one of my favorite questions because I do have options for all of my candidates. And we talk about in the lane, outside of the lane. So for example, my husband, who's practicing 4 lanes down from me right now, only wants to be in an exam lane. Right. He wants to see patient, and that's it. Doesn't want to manage, doesn't want to do anything. Great, I got that job for you. And then there's candidates like myself. I want to see patients half the time, but I want to be out there recruiting, meeting students. So I get a little bit of mix. And then I've got doctors who get to do other things completely outside the lane. They can be a clinical field director, they can be a mentor. But within our company, doctors can specialize. So we have dry eye centers, we have macular health centers, we have VT centers. I have a TBI clinic in my practice. So we've got so many success stories because it all comes back to serving the patients and giving them the best experience they need. So.
Got it. Paul, tell us about similar kind of career pathways, common career pathways, and what success stories you've seen with Luxottica.
Yeah, no, great question. Love this question as well. So one of the coolest things at Luxottica Eye Care is the many different career pathways we have, or ways you can affiliate. And thinking about, I'm in South Carolina, and some of the doctors I've worked with and their career path over the years. A quick career path here is, a doctor comes in right out of optometry school. They've got those student loans to pay off, like you probably did at one point in your career there, Matt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of those doctors either work as a associate doctor for a leaseholding doctor, or they work as an employed OD, depending on the state. Come in, focus on paying off the loans, learn the business side from that veteran doctor that you're working with. Then after that, after a couple of years of learning both of those things, the doctor may want to take on their own lease, learn the business, grow that practice, maybe start off in a lower volume store. A couple years down the road, they might want to add on another branded practice, whether it be a Pearle Vision, a Target Optical, or a LensCrafters, multiple practices, or kind of the pinnacle of practicing in the career path at Luxottica Eye Care. Own your own franchise with Pearle Vision, where you own the optical and own the retail side. If anybody listening would like to learn more, I could be glad to. The best resource to kind of like illustrate or tell the story is some of our current doctors. Be glad to connect with doctors that have taken this career path over the years and had a pretty successful career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Paul, and I think we actually did an ebook with you guys, maybe it was a year back, on different career pathways. So a lot of those do sound familiar. Yeah, and there is a variety, and that's important to be able to grow. Scott, anything you want to add to that on the Lux side of things?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, I mean, from an employed doctor standpoint, in particular with Luxottica, you have the ability to start as an associate doctor and then become the managing doctor of a location. And then there's a lot of opportunities, and this is where you can decide how involved you want to be with the company and how you want to grow. My choice was to continue to grow and actually move out of the lane and become very much, clinical and regional and leading doctors and offices that way.
Mm-hmm.
Others, they want to just be the doctor that everyone trains with. I mean, they like to teach, basically. If you like to teach, we need you to teach. We do. We need you to go to recruiting events. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. And we are so hungry for doctors that want to grow and learn and excel in this company. So there's a lot of different paths available.
Yeah, we know that, through a lot of surveys, and the numbers slip in my mind of how many docs are open to the idea of a non-clinical career, at least in some sort of part-time capacity. And so, I think there's other personality traits out there that, are suited to doing, having positions or duties outside of just the exam lane. And, this panel is a great representation of that. Bill, do you want to tell us a little bit about your kind of journey through? I think you're, another great living case of evolution outside of just seeing patients.
Yeah, we have a lot of doctors who join us because we make being a practicing doctor easy, where they can just focus on patient care and not have to worry about anything else besides seeing their patients. But there's opportunities to become more involved for the doctors. We have an ambassador program where doctors can help spread awareness of what it's like to practice within our doctor network. We have a clinical panel where doctors collaborate and research with one another on on how to better the patient experience within the offices. And we also have area doctors who support roughly about 15 to 20 doctors within a district. And they're responsible for a number of tasks such as doctor scheduling, doctor onboarding, and really just being a mentor to doctors within that area. I have personally taken on a career pathway with National Vision. I joined the doctor network directly out of optometry school from ICO in 2011. And I started out as a practicing physician, seeing patients full time. In addition to seeing patients full-time, I eventually was selected to the company's clinical panel. I became an area doctor for a couple years for the locations in Indiana. And then 4 years ago, I was hired on as regional director, where I assisted in the hiring of optometrists in the Northeast US affiliated locations. And then 2 years ago, I took on my current role of director of student relations, where I discuss with optometry students and with schools on who National Vision is, how the practices operate, and what it's like to be a doctor within the doctor network. So while majority of the doctors are focusing their time on patient care, there are opportunities to become more involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think this is all great, kind of living testament of this exact career pathway that you guys are joining us on this panel, and shows that there's an evolution to beyond just the exam lane. That was important to me, clearly. So Thomas, let's bring this next one over to you. And this is a little bit of a more philosophical one. How does an OD find career happiness? And what advice do you have for an OD to have a fulfilling career?
Well, and I think that's an ever evolving thing sometimes, man, because what you start out with is maybe not what you end up with as yourself and most of us on this panel. So I think the opportunity to look for a work-life balance within a positive culture is really, really important. You have to do professionally, has to fit what you are doing personally, but being around positive culture and something that can make you feel good about what you do, whatever you do every day. And for me and for most of our doctors, that's taking care of patients. Everything we do as a doc, as an optometrist, takes care of the patient, whether you're in the exam lane or, in the executive area, taking care of the patient. If you do that with that's your primary thought, that's happiness, okay? Take care of the patient, and success, both financially and philosophically and personally, comes because you want to take care of other people. That's why you became a doctor, right? So kind of remember that. So that's your philosophical way. And I know that sounds old school, but it's new school too, because it's every day.
I think that's a really important thing. It's not old school at all. I think that's primary. How is Shopko bringing that into kind of everyday interaction? Is there any kind of unique things you guys are proud of there to kind of ensure that is fulfilling and happy?
Sure, absolutely. We have doctor panels also, and people contribute to what they do and how they practice and what equipment we should have. They can be involved in team training and how teach a word from the doc is gold, right? We hear that from patients and from our teammates. So to work together in an environment that's very positive, and what should we do for the patient today? What do they need, either medically or glasses wise, and to make sure all our team is trained to do that in a efficient and with a smile on your face every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Paul, can you touch on similar, your version of the answer for that one? I could repeat the question if you'd like. You want me to?
Yep, please. Sorry, I lost the connection there for a second.
Oh, you're good. So how does an OD find career happiness, and what advice do you have for an OD to have a fulfilling career, whether with Luxottica or without, however you'd like to answer that one?
Yeah, I would, not being a doctor, but, having talked to doctors, literally for the past 25 years, balancing your personal career goals with the professional career goals, making sure that, planning long-term, and that meets your, both your personal and your professional goals, going into it, even as a new grad right out of school, having a plan, having a roadmap. Every doctor I talk to and everybody in this panel can relate. It's all about finding that work-life balance and finding that affiliation model or that type to where you can satisfy both. So,
love it. Yep. Work-life balance is key. I just took a week off so no one could email me. And it was great. Tracy, same one right back at you.
So I had a chance to speak to some first years at Indiana University, and they asked the same question of me, what advice do I have for them? And part of my answer was networking. Like when you were in school, network and meet every person you can, because you never know where you're going to end up at the end of school, but you never know when you may reconnect with that person 5, 10, 15 years down the road, and that may open up new doors that you never knew existed. So don't be shy in school. Volunteer at stuff, go to expos, do everything you can to expose yourself to what's out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Networking is so key, and it's almost like an art. And I think my one tip on networking is try to provide the person who you're trying to network with, or a lot of times networking is like mentorship, and
Yes.
that mentor that can help you or guide you down in your career path,
Yeah.
offer them some sort of value. You don't need to give them, whether it's buying them lunch or just taking them out to talk to them or showing interest or following up. Hey, we talked about this thing, and I encountered it in clinic and I did X, Y, Z. It's just that, it doesn't need to be too frequent, but that is really important to maintaining relationships. And if I think about it, I probably wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't, for those connections. So, it takes a little bit of courage, right? But you can absolutely do it. And, whether it's virtually or in person. Dr. Werner, same question, career happiness, we'll end it there.
Yeah, I'm going to echo the work-life balance. Having a passion outside of work, it's going to lead to an even greater purpose in life outside of one's optometry world. But then also surrounding yourself with good people. If you surround yourself with high character individuals who are like-minded in the desire to do good in the world and to make a difference in people's lives on a daily basis, that's going to lead to a lifelong fulfilling career.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Well, the panel part of this is concluded now. I really want to thank everyone. A really great conversation. Great to be hanging out with y'all. I wish it could be in person, but that'll be soon. And now we're going to transition into the next part. Olivia, Suzanne, do you want me to just kind of take it from there? I know we got to do some waiting room stuff.
Yes, Matt, you can go ahead and take it from there.
Okay.
Everybody's going to go into the waiting room except for our first speaker.
Yep. Looks like we've got Paul and Scott who will be speaking first here.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone just hang tight for this last part. And I think we're good there. So, okay, the floor is yours, Paul and Scott.
Yeah, hey, so I want to kick everything off. So my name's Paul Case. I'm the Senior Manager of OD Recruiting for Luxottica Eye Care. So wanted to talk to you just a little bit in the next 5 minutes about finding an opportunity that is right for you. So first off, you guys, if you're able to see the screen, I don't know if we're going to be able to put the QR code on the screen. If we are, great. If not, no worries. I want everybody to click on that if they could. The easiest way to find out about opportunities currently with Luxottica Eye Care is to click on that QR code, and it'll take you to a page where we ask for some brief information, and then one of the people on my team or myself will be connecting with you to discuss those opportunities. So first piece of advice, we talked a little bit about this on the panel just a moment ago. Find an opportunity that meets your professional goals as well as one that meets your personal goals. So at Luxottica Eye Care, there are multiple ways to do this. Couple of the ways you can do this or affiliate. First off is leasing your own practice. You can leave the startup cost to us, run a turnkey business model at an established location. As the practice builds, so does your income. We're there to assist you with things like online appointment book, providing high-tech equipment, localized marketing, and we're there mainly to help you keep your books filled. Also, we have many ODs that add an additional location. So as you lease one location, down the road, if you want to increase your portfolio, you have the opportunity to lease multiple locations. Another way is to become an employed OD, contingent upon the state that you live in. An employed OD, that gives you the satisfaction of having a salary, health benefits, dental, and retirement. Gives you the opportunity to work part-time. If you're focused on that work-life balance and full-time doesn't meet your needs, gives you the opportunity to work part-time as well. Then lastly, at Luxottica Eye Care, you can own a franchise. One of the most trusted names in the eye care business, that's Pearle Vision. It's your business to own, to manage the optical and the retail side, the dispensary side, and we're there to help you grow your business as well. Lastly, one other point also, we want to know that, we know that locations and compensation are very important factors in you making your decision. So at Luxottica Eye Care, we have a team that can help and support you to find that opportunity and to make sure you meet your compensation needs as well. So one other point I want to bring across, so who is Luxottica Eye Care? So Luxottica Eye Care is nationally established brands that the public knows and trusts. Who is it? It's LensCrafters. LensCrafters at Macy's, Target Optical, in Pearl Vision. One of the coolest things about Luxottica Eye Care that I would be remiss if I didn't mention is working at Luxottica Eye Care gives you the opportunity to affiliate with OneSight. If you don't know what OneSight is, go to OneSight, ONESIGHT.org, and you can pull that up. So OneSight is an independent nonprofit that Luxottica Eye Care we support. Being affiliated with Luxottica gives you the opportunity to volunteer your time, volunteer your skills, transfer your skills, whether it be in the US or internationally. I think we're in over about 44 countries where you can help those that underserved communities all across the world, whether it's helping them get an eye exam, teaching somebody at a local school or college how to do an eye exam in various countries. We also support our doctors. We pay our doctors a stipend, so when they're away from their business, if they want to volunteer their time. But again, I would highly recommend onesight.org. You can pull that up. One of the coolest things about affiliating with Luxottica Eye Care as well. Last but not least, again, I'd highly recommend you click on the QR code. It'll connect you with one of the eye care team members on our team that can tell you about the different opportunities near you, where you can pick out the right location, the right way to affiliate, and make sure that we meet all of your needs. Scott, anything else to add to that?
I'll just add, going back to the conversation before around, happiness and work-life balance. We're going to find that for you. I mean, we're here to help you just as much as you're interested in finding something. We want to find the right thing for you. We want to make sure that when you're practicing, you're comfortable and you're happy, and that, you're not feeling overworked. So, it's all about making sure that you're happy and healthy in your lifestyle, and then also your work. So we have a lot of opportunities, and we're here for you to support you.
All right.
Cool.
Love it. Love the QR code too. I scanned it, but I can't take on 2 jobs at this point in time. I already have what feels like 5. Anything else, guys, that you'd like to speak on? I really love it, and can't urge folks enough just to do some exploration at the very least.
Absolutely. We're a great company. We've got a lot of support for doctors. We're here to help you. This is a really interesting time. I mean, unprecedented as the common word for 2020, and it will continue to be most likely. And so we will continue to adapt and make sure listening to our doctors and what they want and what they need.
Got it. Right on. Well, we've got My Eye Doctor up next. I think Olivia, you'll be controlling that one. Stay tuned here. Vito, good to see you. I like the pink mask. Oh, we got 2 waves there. All right, so next up is Tracy with My Eye Doctor and Dexter as well. We'll get you guys unmuted, and the floor is yours.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for giving us a chance to talk with you during that panel. But I did want to give one of our valued team members a chance to speak to you directly about My Eye Doctor. He's our senior OD recruiter, Dexter Jones. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dexter. I'm senior doctor recruiter for My Eye Doctor. Hope everybody can hear me well. And I'd like to just talk and speak a little bit about what we do at My Eye Doctor and how we recruit. So our purpose at our organization is to help patients live their best lives. And while you may hear that, it's reflective of everything that we do at My Eye Doctor. We just don't say it. So for example, we all know, obviously, in the advent of COVID, a lot of things have changed over the last several months. We are now understanding the flexibility that is needed to be able to meet all of our candidates' needs. So when we interview our candidates, we want to understand who they are. We want to understand what your needs are specifically. We not only want our patients to live our best lives, we want you to live your best life as well. That's very important to us. It's reflective of everything we do. We hire doctors based on your unique ability to be able to help patients live their best lives. This is very important. We not only hire for just a career or just to fill a position, if you will, we do hire for careers. So this, again, is reflective of everything that we do. We want to know who you are. We understand that you have other career goals other than just perhaps just seeing patients in the exam lane. If that's all you want to do, we have positions for that. If you want to do more, we have positions for that as well. Working for my eye doctor means you don't have to sacrifice. So for example, many of you in optometry school learn to practice a certain way. Practicing at my eye doctor always means full scope, not just primary care, but full scope. If you have a specialty, if there's a specialty you'd like to practice, we have locations that can support that specialty for you. It always means full scope for us. In our business, we have also leadership roles. You can be a preceptor for externships and residencies, for example. We do that at my eye doctor. There are so many different leadership roles that you can take. Our doctors are the heart of our organization. In fact, our business is heavily influenced by optometrists. If you notice, Dr. Tracy's on the phone as well. We have many leadership positions that you can obtain in our organization. In fact, you will also report to an optometrist. So our entire organization is built on the foundational structure of preserving the sanctity of the optometrist and private practice. Although you'll have corporate backing, a lot of what we do, almost everything that we do, is based on an influence in private practice. Everything that we do is based on that. When we talk to our candidates, we want to know who you are. We want to know, obviously, what positions you'd like to be able to hold. We want to let you know also that you'll have the ability to quickly change to the ever-changing environment that we have right now for our patients. We believe what's best for the patient is best for us as well. That's just in a nutshell. Again, my name is Dexter Jones. You can reach me at dexter.jones@myeyedoctor.com. Tracy, if there's any more ads you have, please, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I would just add that we would welcome any conversations, any questions. We are here for you. We want to talk to you. We want to tell you all about our company. So please take this time to reach out to us, and hopefully I get to talk to each of you very soon. Thanks, Dr. Geller.
Yeah, you got it. My pleasure. No, thank you guys so much. And definitely, once again, give them a reach out. Great folks there, and pleasure working with you guys over these last few years.
Thank you.
Next we've got National Vision. Olivia's going to do her magic wand waving. Zoom will, all right. Hopefully everyone's having a pleasant day today. Can't believe it's already almost the end of the day. All right, Bill's here. Take it away, Bill. Floor is yours.
Can you hear me just fine?
Yep.
I'm a quick high-level overview of who National Vision is. So we are one of the largest and fastest growing optical retailers in the country, and we operate in 44 states nationwide. And over the last 5 years, we've opened an average of 75 locations annually, and we are continuing to expand in the future. Now, there's a lot of people who actually have not heard of National Vision before, and that's because none of our offices specifically advertise as National Vision. We have 5 brands that fall underneath the parent company. America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses is probably the most well-known, and it is our largest division. Eyeglass World. We also have a contract with Walmart to operate a small percentage of their opticals. And then we have Vista Optical inside Fred Meyer, which is located in the Pacific Northwest part of the country. And then we're also on some select military bases. So within those 5 divisions, we have 1,200 locations nationwide, and we opened our 1,200th location on Friday. So that was a major milestone for us. And depending on the brand, there are opportunities for full-time, for part-time employment, fill-in, and then also opportunities to be a sublease holder. So we offer a little bit of everything depending on what the doctor is exactly looking for. We are more of a primary care setting. We do see a lot of disease cases, and that is mostly due to who our patient base is. Now, what the doctor decides to treat, his or herself, or decides to refer out to co-manage with a local OD or MD, that's completely up to the doctor, as every doctor that works within our network treats and manages to their own personal comfort level. We're involved in millions of patients every single year within our offices, but we're also involved in several philanthropic efforts throughout the optical industry. And this is a major passion of our CEO, Reed Foz. and all of the good that the company is affiliated inside and outside the offices through philanthropy has really shaped my vision for wanting this to be the place I spend my career. And I joined, again, the Doctor Network directly out of school, and I foresee myself wanting to be with National Vision, and this is a big part of it. So I hope to be with them for the foreseeable future as well. Now, we're currently hiring across the country, and if anyone is interested in learning more about what it's like to practice within our Doctor Network, please feel free to reach out. I would be happy to schedule a conversation with you. We also have a student loan repayment program for new grads, as well as currently practicing optometrists. And if anyone is graduating with a ton of student loan debt or has student loan debt, like I did when I graduated, this is a program I know you're going to want to learn more about. Again, feel free to email, call, text me to set up a time to chat. I do want to thank you, Matt. This has been a phenomenal event. I think events like this are always worthwhile for the doctors and give great information.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pleasure having you as usual. Thanks for the great information, and for sure,
do you want
guys,
me to go ahead and type my contact information in the chat box real quick?
Perfect. Yep. So everyone, you can give Bill a reach out. Great guy. Worked with him for quite a while, and definitely can guide you in the right direction for sure. Okay, so you'll see that come through in the chat box, and then we've just got Thomas. Okay, there it is. Great.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Bill. Take care.
Have a good day.
And yep. And next we've got Thomas from Shopko, and then we'll close it out. All right. Oh, you're still on mute there?
How's that?
There we go. Now you're good to go.
All
Okay.
right.
Floor is yours.
All right. Well, that's sort of like being in the green room waiting to go on stage.
That's it. That's it. High pressure.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone, and thanks Matt and Suzanne for setting this up, and for all of you who are on the call, because one comment came out before is networking. So the most important thing I think that you can do as a student or someone looking for a position is network. So that's huge with us at Shopko Optical. Just to go over Shopko Optical and who we are, we've been providing eye care services for, there we go, we threw our screen up there, that's great, for over 40 years. We are opened 81 freestanding new locations last year, and we are in the process of opening more. We have 10 that are building as of today, and growing very, very rapidly. So we've hired multiple doctors this year, planning on 50 to 75, maybe even 100 new doctors, depending on how the year goes. And it's a really, really good feeling to put people in practices, especially during some of these challenging times. One of the things at Shopko Optical is that we want you to be a clinician, not a technician, okay? So to that end, we have freedom to practice your own way, which means, you do medical, you do refractive, you do co-management, eye exams, contact lens fittings, refractive and medical services, which includes co-management of cataract and refractive procedures. So basically be the doctor that you've trained for at this time. And that's what most people are looking for, I think, and that's what we try to do here. We have technology for you. We have retinal cameras, field units, VRX Reichert refractors, automated refractors, obviously all the equipment that you need. So what you need to bring is your skills with you, and we provide the rest here. One of the important things we hear from docs and new people coming out of school, and myself was included, is, how many patients am I going to have to see per hour? Is there any quota? How does that work? Well, at Shopko Optical, you set your schedule, okay? Yes, there's an agreement that you have to work so many hours per week, and typically that's 40, but it goes all the way down to part-time one day up to 5 days. And how many patients you see is up to you. Most of our docs do 20 minutes or 30-minute exams. We offer income, guaranteed income where we can, and that's in most of our locations. But your ultimate income is based on your patient volume. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to see 15 patients a day and only get paid for 10. So it's very close to like a private practice environment where the amount of income once you pass your minimum is up to you, which is wonderful. We have a well-trained optical team. Why we put our opticians through optical training. They get more responsibilities and more income the more they do. And if the doctor's part of that training team, that's wonderful, because then you get to work closely with the team that you work with every day, which is very, very important in a good working environment. One of the things we do for you, which is unique in the corporate world to most of our competitors, is we do medical billing for you. All you need to do is look at the ICD-10 code in your computer, put that down, and then it comes up and gets billed in Green Bay. So you don't have to do anything with HR. You don't have to do anything with medical or accounting. Most doctors are great at being doctors, but the hard part of optometry is managing a business. At Shopko, you don't have to do any of that. You just do your exams and we take care of the rest for you. We do have an optical lab, our own lab in Green Bay. An optometrist is only good as that pair of glasses or contact lenses that that patient wears every day. We're kind of unique, and every 2 years, you know, that's when people usually see us, 1 to 2 years. That's a long time. And if someone doesn't like their glasses or their contacts and they think about that every day they see you, that's not so great. They may choose someone else next time. So glasses and quality is very, very important to us. Being part of the community. We're in a lot of smaller communities. If you go to shopcooptical.com, you can see where we are. We're in 11 states. A lot of those are medium and smaller sized towns where you can really get involved with your community and have that feeling of walking down the street and people to recognize you and, hey doc, how's it going today? And that's really unique in this environment of today's day and age. And it's a very good thing to have. And for that reason, we've got docs that have been with us 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Once people come to Shopko and find out what it is and what it's all about, they tend to stay. You know, part of our responsibility is to take care of patients, as I said before, and that's the best thing you can do as a doc, is focus on that and let us focus on all the other things that you probably don't really want to do or weren't trained to do. So we either employ doctors or we lease to doctors. That depends on the state regulations, okay? We offer benefits where we can, where we employ doctors, which is, you know, your typical health, life, dental, malpractice, 401k, all those good things that you would expect out of an employer. I've been here 22 years. My previous life was 15 years in ophthalmology, and it's just a tremendous way to practice. I practice in 9 different locations. We have doctors from all over the country in all optometry schools working with us, and we just find that it's great to have people come with us right out of school that may have not thought about us or don't know about Shopko Optical. Being the biggest and not being the biggest is always that can be a positive thing, because you practice as a group practice. It's like a large group practice. So with technical advice from your peers, if you're in a multi-doctor store with 2 lanes, you'll often have a doctor that's been there and practicing, and that's a great way to get started out. One of the best things to do too is to be busy right off the bat. One of the problems in optometry is we're not always that busy all the time as doctors. At Shopko, we are. Our locations are busy and they are booked. We are booked out typically 2 weeks, and many of our stores are even booked out longer than that. So we're always looking for docs to come on and take care of that patient load, because you do have that school loan to pay. You do want to get busy and see patients. You don't want to go to a location where, well, maybe you'll have to build this practice. That isn't so great. You know, you want to get in there and start working and make income right from the start. One thing I will say too is just focus on your patients, okay? Be a team player, as I said before during my part. People don't know how much people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You've heard that before, and it's so true. You've been to the doctor before, and you know how that is to be a patient. So if you put yourself in the patient's seat and take care of their needs, we give you the tools to do that. And it's a general practice. So you'll see everything from pediatrics to geriatrics, contact lenses, and medical. And I've tried to time it to 5 minutes. I think I'm at the end. If I have more time, I will, but I can't tell. Please contact us. You'll see that from the information you get from Suzanne, and Elizabeth Kiesgen is our doctor recruiter, and we'll get back to you. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Dr. Babka. This is Suzanne Kraus with Vision Expo. I'm going to close us out. We appreciate all of your time. We thank you all for attending. We thank Matt Geller for moderating and all of our incredible panelists. You will receive an email tomorrow listing the winners of each prize as well as contact information for our panelists. Lastly, if you would like to see this program again or know anybody who missed it, we'll be sending you a link of this program that has been recorded, and we'll send it to you by Friday. Until then, we hope to see you at Vision Expo East in 2021. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Matt.
Bye, everyone. Great job.